What is up, guys? Today we're going to be checking out the LG V35. So a pretty cool little flagship smartphone going for around 200 to 250. I'll put the links down below. So just to get into it, it's not a huge difference from the V30 that we had on the channel a while ago, but this one still has the same glass and metal design. It's IP68 dust and water resistant as well. Kind of has a wider feel to it, unlike the G7. It's kind of got the more thinner body, but I noticed the V40 and V30 kind of have like a wider feel in the hand. So overall feels really good in the hand. You have your power button slash fingerprint scanner on the back, a dual camera setup, USB type C, and one single firing speaker along with your volume rocker. So very solid hardware on this guy. So the POLED display on here is very nice, and like I said, these the V30 and V35 have the smallest screens out of the LG kind of lineup phones at 6 inches. So the G7 has the next smallest screen at 6.1 inches, but the POLED display is beautiful on here. Blacks are very deep, and also colors are just very vibrant. So really love the POLED display on here. It's a 1440p display as well, 538. For the PPI, you have the always on display functionality, all that stuff that you come and know to love on most flagships. So the exciting thing about this phone is that it comes with Android 9, but it is getting Android 10. So it is rolling out. I haven't got mine on this AT&T version, but I'm expecting to get it soon, and I will go over it. I still haven't got mine on my V40 as well, so just gotta wait for it to hit your device. But you have the Snapdragon 845 and the Adreno 630. This is overall a speedy phone, just like the V30. That wasn't a slow phone either. So the Snapdragon processor is definitely more than capable of keeping up these days. Also, gaming on here is just fine. You can play games pretty much maxed out settings on here, which is great. And the display is just, like I said, very nice to play games on. The speaker is actually pretty decently loud, so it's not as loud as the G7s, but I'll go ahead and let you hear it. So overall, just watching videos, playing games, this is going to be a great device. So you do have micro SD card support as well for expandable storage, along with 64 gigs of storage and 6 gigs of RAM. So this is going to be a multitasking beast. You should have no problem if you do a lot of multitasking. Okay, so let's get into the camera. So you have a dual camera setup, 16 megapixel standard, in a 16 megapixel ultra wide, shoots in 4K, 30 FPS. The front facing camera is an 8 megapixel camera that shoots in 1080p, 30 frames per second. The cameras on here are excellent. As you can see, I have no problem with dynamic range. Color is a little bit oversaturated, but overall it gives you like these very punchy, vibrant colors that I think will appeal to most people. And like I said, detail is there, dynamic range is there, color accuracy is mostly right, especially indoors. So overall the cameras are a beast on here. Low light on here is actually kind of decent. It's not terrible. I've seen worse, so as you can see, it's a decent shot, but the video on here is just as good. The 4K is really good as well, so you're getting some pretty solid video quality on this phone as well. Now, of course, this phone does have the headphone jack, so if you're really into music listening, the quad DAC is on here, as well as the DTS surround sound. So this is a great device for music listening. If you have a really nice pair of headphones, even if they're wireless headphones, the equalizing settings on here are pretty solid as well, so you can really get the music to sound how you want it to. So as far as the software, like I said, it's getting Android 10, but everything that you really want is on here. Screen sharing, file sharing, all that stuff is on here. When Android 10 comes, you'll have the dark mode to take advantage of that, especially on this OLED display. You will even get excellent battery life, or better battery life. And speaking of the battery life, you have a 3,300 milliamp battery. It is 18 watt fast charging, and you also have 10 watt wireless charging as well. And battery life is definitely a beast, just like on the V30. It's just really good on here, and I think it has something to do with the POLED display, or just that extra 300 milliamps, but I'm not sure because the G7 doesn't do as good as this one, and it has just a a slightly smaller battery at 3000 milliamps, but you can easily get around 8 hours of screen on time on this device here. And with Android 10 with the dark mode, I'm pretty sure you can get even slightly better battery life. So this phone really has everything that you could really want. It's got NFC as well, so it checks off a lot of the flagship features, and it's getting Android 10, which is the biggest thing that I didn't even see coming. I didn't think it was going to get it, but it did get it. So what do you guys think about the V35? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.